Why do we lose our long-term employees? Why do we lose our long-term employees? I mean, how can somebody that's been with the company for a couple of years, why do they just up and leave one day? Why is that? How is that so? I want to answer that, but I want to first give you a conversation, a little snippet of the conversation that I was having. I was talking with a man in a quick service restaurant the other day, and I asked him, what's your biggest challenge that you're faced with right now? And get what he said. He said this. He said, getting treated by my leader like I don't know how to do my job. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. And I replied, really? How long have you been with the company? 7 years was his reply. Now, of course, there's only two possibilities. The possibility number one is he's a very, very slow learner and he hasn't learned how to do his job in 7 years, or else there's a leadership issue. And I think it's interesting that John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership, and I'm in 100% agreement with that statement. Most employees would rather have a better boss over a pay raise. They want their boss to be the type of leader that they are inspired to follow, that they're motivated to get behind. And it indicates this, that if today more people would like to have a better boss than a pay raise, it indicates that there's a great need for quality leaders in businesses today. And so we ask ourselves, why does an employee stay at the same place of business for 7 years at all? Why would they do that? What would be your thoughts? Drop some in the comments to where I can see what you think. But I was going through this and I was just thinking, okay, so why does somebody stay in a quick service restaurant for 7 years? And that's where this guy was working at. Why would he stay there for 7 years? I mean, it's a tough industry, right? Why would somebody stay there for 7 years? Well, he must, first of all, be confident in what he does. The second thing is maybe he likes who he works with, the people, his colleagues, his fellow employees, and maybe he likes who he does it for, right? Who he's working for. He likes his job. Now, make no mistake, if he does not like one of these things, if he doesn't like what he does, if he doesn't like who he does it with, and he doesn't like who he does it for, just one of those things, and guess what? He or she, they're going to be looking for exit signs. They're going to be looking for other job opportunities, which gives me the answer to the 3 reasons why your long-term employees might leave your quick service restaurant. Number 1, they don't like what they do anymore. Many people are getting out of quick service just because I want to try something new. I've always been in food service and I want to try the medical industry, or I want to push off to the oil field, or I want to push off to my cousin's opening a business as a mechanic and he's hired me, or whatever. So they may want to just try their hand in something new, right? So number 1, the reason why people are leaving, the long-term people are leaving, is because they don't like what they do anymore. The second thing could be they don't like the people that you've hired. So they don't like who they're doing it with. And they love what they do, they love who they do it for, but they just don't like the people that they're working with. The third thing, and this is the most important thing that I found with this young man that I spoke to, is he doesn't like the leaders. The leaders are not developed as quality leaders, and therefore he doesn't like who he does what he does for, right? He may like those that he works with. He may like what he does, but if he doesn't like who he does it for, he's out, right? So those are the 3 reasons for people leaving as far as long-term and even short-term. And by the way, this is not just exclusive to the quick service industry. It floats across industries. It doesn't matter the industry. People, if they love what they do, they love who they do it with, they love who they do it for, they're not going to be looking for other opportunities. They're not going to be looking for other exit signs. And so I would encourage you to make your workplace the kind of place where people love what they do because they've been trained. If I have to continue to show up and I don't know what I'm doing and you're not training me, that's broken. I'm not feeling equipped and empowered to do my job. I'm out. I may last 3 weeks, maybe even a month to give you time to get it on board and train me. But if I feel ill-equipped, I'm going to find someplace else. So first of all, if they love what they do, it's because you trained them. If they love who they do it with, it's because you're recruiting the right kind of talent. If you've got the wrong kind of talent in your organization, you're going to lose a lot of your top talent because they're going to find some other place because they don't like carrying the people you're hiring. And then the third reason is this: if they love who they do it for, in other words, you've challenged yourself to develop yourself as a leader, and you're developing your leaders. If you don't have a program where your leaders are being developed consistently, you need to get one, because you could be losing your top talent to other organizations. You do all these things and ain't nobody going to be leaving your company.